All right, so basic maintenance on your trombone, you want to make sure that your slide is able to move very easily. Now, while you might be able to move your slide easily right now, I want to show you how you're going to take care of the slide and keep it nice and slippery so you can move your slide efficiently. So what I want you to do is I'm going to move my camera down a little bit so you can see it. You're going to unlock your slide, and then you're going to set this part like on the ground, and you're going to, rest it somewhere where it's going to be okay to not be falling over. Then what I want you to do is you should have a bottle of, it says Yamaha on the outside. It should be about this big. It's a cylinder, and it should say slide lubricant. You're going to use that to put on your slide and make it more slippery. So if you could undo that and open it up, and if you need to pause the video to open that, go ahead and do that right now. Once you have the slide lubricant opened, you're going to take the top off, and then you're going to do what I just had before. You're going to rest your slide somewhere, and you can keep that rubber stopper on the ground, and then you're going to take that lubricant and you're going to put it all over the part that is not super shiny, the part that goes into the actual slide itself. It's going to be a really sticky, kind of slippery, slimy consistency. Honestly, it kind of looks like troll boogers to me. I know that sounds really funny, but that's what it reminds me of. So if it gets somewhere, like on your hand or anything like that, you can wash your hands off. It's not going to hurt you. You just want to make sure you put enough on there on both sides that you can go ahead and push it into the actual slide casing, and then move it up and down, and then that will lubricate your slide. So you're not going to need to do this right away, but let's say that you're playing and you've put your slide lubricant on there and it's still just getting kind of sticky. After a while, your slides will get kind of built up with gunk from your mouth and just old slide lubricant. So if you ever feel like you need to start fresh, you can get a paper towel or a soft cloth and put a little warm water on it. And then you can actually take out the inside of your slide completely, being very careful to set down the other side of your slide, and take that cloth with warm water on it. And then what you would do is you'd actually put it around one of the legs of the slide and then clean off all the gunky residue that's on there. All right, and then you would do it for both sides of the slide legs, just like that. And then you would go through the steps that I just told you. You'd get that Yamaha slide lubricant. You would put it on each leg, and then you would go ahead and put it back in the slide casing. Now, one thing I want to make sure that you're doing is you want to make sure that when you put the slide back on, the spit valve is on the side that has the long portion. Okay, so the spit valve should be facing the ground, which is where the long portion is. Okay. All right, so and then of course you would go ahead and move it in and out, and then your slide would be ready to put onto the rest of the instrument. The final thing that you would need to do for maintenance on the instrument is this little slide that we use for the main tuning that I told you needs to be out just a tiny bit. Again, this is kind of difficult to get off of here sometimes, so if you need to ask help from an adult, you can go ahead and do that. If you'll notice, sometimes the instrument will have a not shiny part attached to here, but there's a part that's kind of more, it's got scratches on it and it's not quite as shiny. You want to take your slide grease, and that is either going to look like a red and black little tiny tube of toothpaste, or it's going to look like a tube of chapstick. Even though it looks like that, you don't want to put either of those things on your mouth at all right? That is just used to make sure that we're keeping these portions of the tuning slide for the instrument easy to move in and out so we can tune the main part of it. So if you will take whichever one of those you have and put a tiny bit on the not shiny part of your instrument and then rub it in really well so it's covering that inside. Okay, and then once you've done that, you can go ahead and carefully put your tuning slide back in, being very careful to line it up and not push anything if it's not wanting to go. Sometimes it takes a little while to get this done, and that is okay. There we go. All right, if you see any extra coming out along the sides, that is okay. Just grab that paper towel or towel in general and just wipe the rest of it off, and it should be fine. You're going to want to do this every couple of weeks just so we can make sure that the slide is able to be moved when you need to. On the next video, I'm going to show you how to put your instrument together.